everyone. Welcome to another interview for Drive East. As you know, it's coming up in a couple of weeks. We're just 2 weeks away with the first show in New York hitting on August 13th and the first show in San Francisco for the first time. Drive East is going to San Francisco on August 22nd. In these series of interviews, we have with us an alumni from Drive East 2015, Prasanna, Guitar Prasanna, who will be joining us today. And I'm very, very excited to ask him some questions about why the guitar, his influences in Carnatic music, and maybe a few interesting rapid fire questions that could be quite insightful. So welcome, Prasanna ji. The first question I wanted to ask you is, have you looked at our lineup going forward? What really excites you about our lineup coming up? What do you like about Drive East in general?
I have to be honest, I have not looked at your lineup for this time, but I do know that you have a good mix of artists, Carnatic, Hindustani dance, and many things. And it's always nice to have this happening in New York. It's a great music city, and you guys are adding to the milieu by bringing some good stuff from India. So I'm sure this year's festival would be as nice as it has always been.
Excellent. Of the Drive East performance that you participated in a few years ago, what are some memorable moments, some memories that you have of it, and what excited you about your performance and your participation in that particular Drive East?
The first memory is that it was jam-packed, so that's always a good memory to take, and a very diverse audience. I could tell that most people may not have been very familiar with Carnatic music, and were excited about and coming and seeing me in that situation. And then, of course, there are some people who were, quite, shall we say, connoisseurs. So there was a blend of all of that, and I could see that energy, and it was a really, really fun performance for me. I really enjoyed playing there. And I think La Mama Theatre, where I played, I think it was different last time, but it was quite a nice place. And I really liked the way that you guys were presenting these performances. They were not too jazzed up, and at the same time they were elegant, and it had a good feeling of intimacy for the audience to get into. And I think that's something that was a good takeaway for me, because to be honest with you, many Carnatic performances don't have good presentation values, both from the organizer side and the artist side. So it's not us versus them kind of a thing. It's just that we should all work with each other to make this music presented nicely. It's great music, but with the right presentation, it could be more, should I say, palatable. So I think the Drive East Festival does that.
Right. I actually went online to listen to your Bilahari that you performed in 2015. And Bilahari is always a ragam that it's difficult for me to get into, but I really, really found your particular alapana quite inspiring. Maybe I'll...
Thank
you. So now for a fun question, what is your favorite yet least known fact about Carnatic music that you would like to share with an audience?
That it's probably one of the most difficult forms of music in planet Earth to learn. Learn.
Yeah, to learn. I absolutely agree with that.
And yet, sounds like any other good music, can sound very simple. So I guess the other side of that point is that actually the music is very simple on people's ears.
Right.
Those great compositions of Tyagaraja, Dikshita, Shama Sastri, and everybody else, they were just beautiful songs. They've been intellectualized a lot more now, so it looks like it's a complicated form of music. But with the demands of how much this music has evolved, yes, as a teacher, I could definitely say that it's one of the most difficult forms of music to learn, but it's very rewarding when you do learn it.
Yeah. Yep, I absolutely agree with that. And I hope us young students will listen to this and practice a little harder, maybe. So another question for you. What was the biggest bungle or mistake you made on stage, and how did you cover it up? Did you cover it up?
Oh, it happens to me every day. Snafu is a big part of my showmanship. Mm-hmm. I'll say something and then I'll like, why did I say it? I'll play something and then why did I play it? Yeah, and I always make up for it by making it look like that it was absolutely intentional and it was good. that's what it's supposed to be. You know, you could play as many wrong notes in music as possible as long as they sound right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's the same. Yeah. So there's always something that we plan and then like something else happens on stage. Sometimes it surprises us, and sometimes we get thrown off by something or the other. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a part of life. There's no one specific thing, but snafu is a big part of my my performance life.
Right. So coming specifically to the guitar and the fact that you chose guitar for Carnatic music, what made you take a guitar up, and what does it bring to Carnatic music that you don't ordinarily have other than what we already have?
Well, to me, the guitar is one of the most perfect forms of music to play Carnatic. I mean, perfect instruments to play Carnatic music. Okay. That's it.
That's it.
And how I picked it up was, well, I kind of fell in love with the guitar when I was about 4 years old or 5 years old. I was in a small town called Ranipet in Tamil Nadu, mm-hmm. and I saw a neighbor playing guitar, and it was the first instrument I saw anybody play. Therefore, I chose the guitar, or the guitar chose me, whichever way I want to look at it now. Carnatic music came much later. Mm-hmm. It was the fascination for guitar that got me to music. Oh. And Carnatic music came much later. And like any other Tamil kid growing up in the early 80s, I was exposed to Indian film music. And I was, a big fan of Ilayaraja, and I still am a big fan of Ilayaraja's music. And so that kind of was my first real big influence. Mm-hmm. Carnatic music came a little bit later, and my sister was learning veena and vocal, and because I had a guitar at home, I remember the guitar cost me about 75 cents or $1, I don't remember. One of those really cheapo acoustic guitars that I got in a store, the only thing that we could afford at the time. Mm-hmm. And just hearing my sister sing and play veena, out of curiosity, I just started playing it, and that's about it. It wasn't. I didn't think that it was wrong to play Carnatic music on the guitar, because I was a kid. Kids don't ever feel afraid of anything.
Yep. That's really.
Still, I'm a kid, therefore I'm not afraid of playing that music.
Okay. Do you have anything new coming up that you would like to talk about on the horizon in terms of teaching or performance? Any shows coming up?
Well, there's always stuff. I have a concert in the Rubin Museum of Art on August 24th.
That's great.
I'm doing a solo guitar concert, which is themed towards love, prayer, and peace. Mm-hmm. So I'm basically going to present Carnatic-ish music or Carnatic music.
But with or is that still like Carnatic music?
Well, let's just call it electroacoustic digital meditation evening. That's all. Okay. So it's just guitar and sound effects. Mm-hmm. But so I'm excited about that. That's on the 24th August at Rubin Museum. And, I also do these shows at Terraza 7 every month. And I have one coming up on Saturday, which is my interpretation of the music of A.R. Rahman with the 7-piece band.
Oh, wonderful.
Musicians from Chile, from Brazil, from Colombia, whatever. So stuff like that. And I also have a new album called Bowling for Peace coming out anytime now. I don't know when, but in the next month or so, which is titled after one of my well-known compositions called Bowling for Peace.
Mm-hmm.
And it features a lot of some of my best-known works all compiled together. So there's a lot happening.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. So a quick set of rapid-fire questions for you now. So your favorite time to practice, morning or night?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Dikshita, Shyama Shastri or Tyagaraja?
Dikshita.
Sarasangi or Latangi?
Prasanna.
Sarasangi. Oh, me too. If you had one ragam only you could play, take with you to a desert island, which one would it be? I know that's hard. Which one?
Sahana.
Sahana. Oh, yes. Your biggest Carnatic influence?
I would say three people as far as instrumental music goes. One is my Guru Kanyakumari, Lalgudi Jayaraman, and U. Srinivas. Okay. And as far as vocalists go, ML Vasanta Kumari, PK Jayaraman, and KV Narayanaswamy. Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. What about your biggest non-Carnatic influence?
It's too huge.
If you had to pick one, I mean, you picked 6 for the earlier one, so I can allow you a few more over here too.
Ilayaraja, John Coltrane, Jimi Hendrix, Bela Bartok, Bach, Ravel. It'll go on and on. Jethro Tull, Rush.
Wow, okay.
Led Zeppelin.
Of course, a classic.
Do I have to go on?
No, you can stop with Led Zeppelin. That's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. And it was a real pleasure to have you interview with us and be a part of this again. Once again, Drive East is coming up in a couple of weeks. You can go to driveeastnyc.org to find the details and the tickets and the venues. And like we said, we're going to San Francisco as well for the first time this year, which is extremely exciting. Again, thank you to Prasanna ji, and thank you all for joining us today.
My pleasure, and thank you for having me. And I look forward to more with you guys, and have a great set of shows this year, both in New York and San Francisco. And I hope more listeners come and check these shows out and keep your organization growing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.